What is going on YouTube? It is yours truly, Tesla Mouse here, bringing you a rant and not a Wi-Fi battle. I just uploaded a Wi-Fi battle, so this will be a rant about rage quitters. What are rage quitters, you ask? Rage quitters are those people, to put the word loosely for lack of a better term, that get upset that things don't go their way in a game, thus they disconnect from the server and screw their opponent out of a well-deserved win. Rage quitting comes in the form, in Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battling, of disconnecting from the server. Sometimes these rage quitters will be upfront about it and admit they rage quit. Sometimes they will blame it and say, oh, my internet went out. But really and truly, the fact is, they can't handle losing a game. Whether they get outplayed, or sacked, or swept, they can't stand that the opponent is going to win. They have too much pride. Now, some of you may be saying, doesn't a rage quit count as a win? Well, no. You see, on Pokemon X and Y, there's this thing called the player search system. Sorry, I kind of stopped myself there for a minute. The player search system, PSS, which is where you challenge for Wi-Fi battles, trades, and there's this little tab that you can go to which has the profile. In the profile, you'll see the number of Wi-Fi battle wins, which is translated as number of link battle wins, even though we don't use a link cable, so that really doesn't make any sense. But nonetheless, if you enter a battle, you're about to win, and your opponent disconnects, accidentally or intentionally, your number will not go up. Thus, the game doesn't recognize that battle as taking place, doesn't recognize who is the winner. And you may be saying, well, who cares about number of wins? Well, the fact is, I kind of do, because if someone has only 10 link battle wins in their profile, they're like, oh, I'm so good, I beat 100 people. I'm going to be like, yeah, there's no proof of that. As far as I'm concerned, you've only beaten 10 people. And some people may say, oh, you're over-obsessed with your win count. Well, honestly, the win count in your PSS shows you or gives an idea that you may actually be very good at Wi-Fi battling. In my PSS system, on my profile, it shows I have over 3,000 wins. I have been called very good for that. And honestly, I do know I'm good at Wi-Fi battling. I'm not the best, but I'm definitely up there as very good. Now, another annoying thing about rage quitting is, at the end of a Wi-Fi battle in Pokemon X and Y, you have the option of saving your video. Now, I can understand people being like, well, if you're sweeping him, then why do you want to save the video? Isn't that a little insulting? Well, rage quitting doesn't just extend to being swept. Even in close battles, when you're winning by a small margin, your opponent disconnects, well, that's a wasted battle video that you could have saved and possibly uploaded to YouTube. It would have been a really good battle to showcase on YouTube. And it's annoying that because your opponent rage quit and didn't allow you to get the win and the option to save the Wi-Fi battle, that's a Wi-Fi battle gone to waste. And it's a waste of time. I mean, let's be honest. In the PSS, searching for a battle can be really tiring because almost no one accepts. It's mostly people begging to trade and stuff. And when you finally do get that Wi-Fi battle, and you have a good battle, and then before you get the win, communication interrupted or whatever other retarded error that pops up. Well, it's frustrating. I mean, I know sometimes it's connection error, sometimes Nintendo's servers kick you out of the battle both simultaneously, or your Wi-Fi craps out, but honestly, 8 times out of 10, it is a rage quit, especially if you're in a winning position. You know it's most likely a rage quit, because if they disconnect while you're in a winning position, well, that kind of raises red flags. I mean, if they disconnect while they are in a winning position, well, I'm not going to assume that's a rage quit. I'm going to assume that's a communication error. Honestly, if you have to rage quit on Pokemon X and Y, or any other game for that matters, you seriously need to look at your life. You have too much pride, you have too much of an ego, And honestly, if you can't accept a loss, you'll never get better at the game you're playing. It's just simple. Accept your loss like a man. And learn from your mistakes. Don't screw the other player out of a win all because you're salty and can't accept losing. You're not going to be good at everything. You're not the best. There's always going to be someone who's better than you. There's always going to be that instance of luck. And honestly, you really just need to deal with it. I'm glad that on Smash Bros. And 3DS they punish people for rage quitting or disconnecting potentially with a 10-minute ban. I'm hoping that they implement something like that in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but I won't really hold my breath on it. And I know it's kind of unfair for those who get disconnected without being their fault, but honestly, being rage quit on is frustrating, especially when you have a really good battle that you're like, hey, I want to upload this to YouTube, but, well, disconnected. So, that's my take on the situation, and once again, don't rage quit. Respect the opponent, respect yourself, and learn from your mistakes. Accept your loss. Unless your opponent is using banned Pokemon and violating Smogon clauses, if you do go by Smogon rules, then it's acceptable to disconnect. But if they're having a fair game under the rules that of Smogon, and you do go by Smogon rules, don't rage quit. It's a fair game. There's no reason to disconnect. But that'll be it for now. Thank you for watching this rant, everyone. And if I get enough support for this, I might do more rants in the future. I'm pretty sure I can find other stuff to rant about. But that's going to be it for all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for another Wi-Fi battle. Oh yeah.